Welcome to the Mount Pleasant Podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Cleary, and all thanks to the great people of Mount Pleasant Magazine, I get the honor, the privilege of introducing you to Mount Pleasant, the people who make it such a special place to do business, to work, and even to live. We're introducing you to Mount Pleasant's best on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. We're well into 2026. Hopefully you're still on those New Year's resolutions. Maybe one of those was to exercise, get in shape, lose weight. Well, today we're going to introduce you to someone who can help you do all that and more here with me, Brian Cleary, on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Catherine Hollister is the owner of Blue Sky Endurance. They've got multiple locations in Mount Pleasant. Catherine, for somebody who's not familiar with Blue Sky Endurance, how do you describe what that is?
We are a multi-sport retail shop, and that means we have everything for swimming, biking, and running, and general fitness. And we also put on group runs and group rides that are free and open to everybody. And then we also have events that we put on, 5K events.
We're going to be talking about one of those 5K events that's coming up in March in just a little bit. You're the owner of Blue Sky Endurance. What did you do before you got into the Blue Sky business?
I worked in the retail industry for a while. And before that, I raised my 5 kids. And then before that, I was in the financial services industry.
Oh, so nothing major, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that you dabbled into. So what was it that motivated you, if that's the word, to open up Blue Sky Endurance?
I was training women for their very first mini sprint triathlon. And I was having to send them all different places to get their gear. So they'd have to go one place to get their goggles, another place to get their bike, another place to get their running shoes, and no place to get a triathlon suit to wear for race day. So I just saw a void in the community, and I wanted to fill that void. And so that's how it all came to be.
And you've got 2 locations in Mount Pleasant. One is on Coleman Boulevard, correct?
Correct. We have the Coleman Boulevard location. We also have another shop up in Carolina Park across from Costco. And then we recently purchased the Foot Store, which is in the new Trader Joe's Plaza right by the connector.
Talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, Park Bend, that new area. It, of course, is North Mount Pleasant. You're across from the Costco there. But what was it that made you decide to go into that area?
You know, I went up there to vote, actually. My voting precinct was way up there. And I was driving back to our Coleman shop, and I thought, I would never come to Blue Sky Endurance on Coleman if I lived up here. I just wouldn't. And that's how I got the idea. I thought there's nothing up this way for fitness and lifestyle, an active lifestyle. So that's when I started to explore opening something up that way.
So if I go into Blue Sky Endurance, I don't have to be a triathlete, right? You're going to deal with all levels of people in terms of running, biking, swimming.
Right. We service pure runners, pure cyclists, and pure swimmers. And then we also have triathletes as well. But I would like to think we do really well in each segment, servicing just a cyclist or somebody new to cycling or new to running. So we try to cover all of those areas really, really well.
And I think where Blue Sky Endurance goes above everybody else, obviously I can go in there, say, buy a pair of shoes or get a swimsuit or whatever. But you've got individuals, you and your staff, you could also help me in terms of my swimming abilities, maybe my running, training, and that sort of thing. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I think there's definitely some coaches and professionals in our community that we refer people to when they're looking for high-level training or that next level. If they just have simple questions like, what can I buy that's going to help me keep my hips up in the water? For example, we've got a pull buoy we'd give them to use. Or how can I get comfortable on my run? You know, we'll help put them into the right type of running shoe. But if they really want to take themselves to the next level, there's some great local coaches that we refer them to.
And Blue Sky Endurance is connected with all that, the running, the biking, the triathlon committee. And Catherine Hollister is the owner of Blue Sky Endurance with 2 locations in Mount Pleasant. This is where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. It's why we're having a conversation with her today on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm Brian Cleary. Let's talk about an event coming up, one of the most fun 5K runs that happen across the Lowcountry. Tell me a little bit, Catherine, about the Catch the Leprechaun 5K event.
It's coming up on March 14th. It's always the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, and it's just a ton of fun. It happens up at our Carolina Park location. It's a great family event, especially because we let kids 10 and under run for free as long as they're with an adult or their parents. We have a legit leprechaun. His name is Eric Ruckel, but he does a fantastic job and he'll be out there running. But the best part of the race is that our beneficiary of the race is Racers for Pacers, which is a great local nonprofit that enables everybody to run. So people with disabilities are in the racing wheelchairs. They're called the Racers. And then the runners pushing the wheelchairs, they're the Pacers. So all of the proceeds after expenses for the race go towards Racers for Pacers. And you'll see them out there. They run first for the race. They start 10 minutes before everybody else. And it's just great. The smiles on the faces of the kids in the running wheelchairs are just amazing.
Absolutely. Haven't been a part of the Catch the Leprechaun 5K. One, the kids and the parents, they inspire you. But two, they're having so much fun. And it's got to feel great for you as the person who's putting on this race to have those folks be able to come out and enjoy.
Yes. And it helps buy more running wheelchairs for the participants so we can get more kids out there enjoying themselves and being part of a race where otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it.
And when you talk about the leprechaun that's at the run, he is amazing.
He is. He's great.
And we want to get as many people as we can out on March 14th to be a part of the Catch the Leprechaun 5K. How can someone sign up to be a part of the run?
If they go to runsignup.com and they can search Catch the Leprechaun, they can also go to our website and click on our events tab. They'll see a link to the race there as well.
In 1982, it was East Cooper Magazine. Now it's Mount Pleasant Magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine is about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Your community, your magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine.
You're listening to the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
So Blue Sky Endurance actually does three running events during the year. Of course, we've got the March 14th event. That's the Catch the Leprechaun 5K. But coming up after that, what's the next event for Blue Sky Endurance?
The next one is the Goat 5K, and that takes place out at the goatery at Kiowa River. And it begins and ends at the goatery with the baby goats. And it runs through the beautiful trails of Kiowa River. And it's a 100% eco-friendly event. So the finishers get a plant instead of a medal. They get some wonderful experience with the animals. There's biscuits for all the finishers afterward. It's a great event.
Maybe the most unique 5K event that I've ever been a part of. And I was never exposed to the goatery until I went out for this run. It's great.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful out there.
So you've got these three runs, and Blue Sky Endurance also is either a sponsor or involved with some other events during the year. Can you give me some examples of those, Catherine?
We sponsor a lot of local races. So we're a sponsor this year of the Charleston County Parks and Rec road races, as well as their triathlons. We sponsor the Palmetto Ultra events, which are all trail races out in Francis Marion Forest, primarily. What else? We sponsor some different coaching programs as well. Without Limits, we're a sponsor of this year. They also put on events. So yeah, we love to sponsor anything that gets people moving. We are 100% behind it.
And you kind of touched on it at the beginning of the interview, but then you've got the runs, the weekly things you do. Give me a little more specifics on some of those.
Sure. So Monday nights, we have a group run. It's a free run up at our Carolina Park store. You can do either 3 or 5 miles. All paces are welcome. It's a really fun crew up there. We also do little challenges throughout the year for those runs. For example, if you log your miles every time you come, and when you get to 100 kilometers, you get a tank top and you're part of the 100K club. So that's really fun. Then Saturday mornings, we have free group runs at 7 a.m. from our Coleman shop. And right now we're doing a bridge run build series, it's called. So we run to the bridge every Saturday. And those distances vary as well. It depends on where you're at with your training, what you're training for. But usually there's always someone to run with, someone to run your pace and your distance. And those are always a lot of fun as well.
You read about it in the pages of Mount Pleasant magazine, where we get to dig a little deeper on the Mount Pleasant podcast of things, people, places in the town of Mount Pleasant. I'm Brian Cleary. Today on the Mount Pleasant podcast, I'm joined by Catherine Hollister. Catherine is the owner of Blue Sky Endurance. They've got the two locations in Mount Pleasant, Coleman Boulevard, and also Park Bend, and also the Foot Store. Let me go there, Catherine. For a runner, even a biker, is there a way for you to stress how important the correct shoe is for being at your best when you run and bike?
Definitely. I mean, if you're not comfortable, you're not going to get very far. So if you are in the right fitting shoes that have the right amount of support for your feet and your knees, not your best friend, what they wear, but what you need, you're going to be more comfortable and you're going to go further. And similarly with your bike, if you're comfortable on your bike, you're going to ride longer. Having a well-functioning bike, having it serviced and having you fit for your bike, making sure you're on the right size. There's a lot of different saddles for your bike out there that can get you comfortable so that you can ride longer. So yeah, it's so important.
Blue Sky Endurance is about running, biking, and also swimming. I have to be honest, I can swim, loved to swim when I was a kid. Is it true that that's the best exercise for you? Because man, it's hard. It's really hard to swim laps or whatever. But all I've heard is, man, cardio-wise and everything, swimming's a really strong exercise for you.
Yes, it's not jarring. You're not pounding on pavement. It's really easy on the joints. I find it to be more of a recovery exercise sometimes than anything else. Sometimes you'll get in the water and you're sore. By the time you get out, your soreness is gone. It is a great way to build up your fitness as well. Even if you can just get in the pool for 15, 20 minutes as you start out, you can slowly build up your endurance, but it really takes a lot of pressure off of your joints and keeps you more injury-free than if you're just pounding the pavement every day.
Catherine, let me talk about yourself. How is it that you got started in terms of fitness, exercise, running?
I was always a tennis player growing up, but then when I went to college, back then, it was pretty common for people to tell you that you were inevitably going to gain the freshman 15. So I felt like that was my destiny. Now I don't think it's politically correct to say those things. So I was really worried about that. And I went to college at St. Mary's College in South Bend, Indiana, and it's just a beautiful campus with an Oak Line Drive leading up to it. And so I saw a lot of people running, and I thought, well, maybe I should give this a try, even though my mother, who was a runner as well, always told me I should just start running. So I finally did, but I just did oak tree by oak tree. I just kept adding an oak tree each time I went out to run. And before I knew it, I was at the end of the drive, and I would cross over to go to the campus of Notre Dame, which was also beautiful. And I just kept adding distance. But the biggest thing that I found was I just had mental clarity that I'd never experienced before in my life. So that is really what got me hooked more than anything else. Was I could come back from a run and I just could study for hours, and I was really, really focused just from that run. So I can't stress that enough, that it's really the mental side of it that you can get from running, even more than staying fit physically.
Blue Sky Endurance is about run, swim, and bike. For you yourself, should I then assume your favorite is run, or do you do all three?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely is my favorite. When I turned 30, I couldn't run every day anymore. I just kept having little niggles. So then I started to introduce biking and then swimming. And then I saw that you could do triathlon. So then I started to do that. I'm 56 and still running well, I think, for my age. And I think that is because I do a lot of cross training with the biking and the swimming. And it keeps me from wearing down my joints, I think.
So I have to mention, because I was at the Charlie Post Classic event on Sullivan's Island, and you won your age group. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
When it comes to a triathlete, I would say intimidated is how I would look at that. I mean, it just seems to be a lot. The 3 events, the distances and stuff. What can you say to somebody like me that might, encourage me along and have me break down that barrier to try?
I always say go to a triathlon race and just watch it one time, and you will see there's people like you, there's people like me, there's all walks of life out there, and they're doing it. And if you tell yourself, if they can do that, I can do that. And the best challenge I find with triathlon is there's always something you can work on. It's not just run longer, run faster. You can get better on your bike. You can get better at the swim. You can get better at transition. So it's just a really good mental challenge as well as a physical challenge, and you'll get in the best shape of your life. I guarantee it.
If I walk into Blue Sky Endurance, is it more for adults? Do you take care of kids, teens? Who is it that can come in and would be served with a visit to Blue Sky Endurance?
We service all ages. We service a lot of youth athletes as well. A lot of the summer swim teams, those are our customers. Adults, teens, we do a lot of things with the track teams and the cross-country teams as well. And every type of adult that's wherever they're at in their fitness journey, my goal is that they're comfortable coming into Blue Sky to help them get themselves to that next level. I mean, our slogan is your sky, your limit. And I really believe in that it's really up to you. You can always take yourself up one more level. It's there. It's always there. And finding ways to get yourself there is really, to me, very inspiring to help inspire other people to find that.
And at events, I'll see Blue Sky Endurance teams. If somebody wanted to join the Blue Sky Endurance team, what would they need to do?
Just show up. And we don't have a formal team. We have a very strong community, I guess you'd say. And I think our gear is super cool. So I think people like to wear the gear too, just because it looks good and it actually performs really well too. We're very all-inclusive. You don't have to sign up to be in the team or audition to be on the team. Just join us for runs, join us for rides, and be part of the community because it's a great group of people. When
I come into Blue Sky Endurance to do a little shopping, fashion is going to be a part of it, but at the end of the day, it's about functionality, I guess.
Yes. Everything we carry, we've tried ourselves. So it's all performance gear that is going to perform well in the heat of the summer or the cold winter right now, or we just have fun gear to wear after your workouts. That's comfortable as well. We've got great recovery shoes too, to get your feet comfortable after a long run.
Obviously, you started with that one location on Cornwall Boulevard. You've expanded to Park Bend, and you have the shoe store now. What's the future for Blue Sky Endurance?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, we've always looked at Park Circle maybe as a potential someday, but nothing in 2026. I think we've got all we can handle right here in Mount Pleasant, which is great. We love this community, and we're so grateful to be a part of it.
So one of the benefits to coming out then to the Catch the Leprechaun 5K, it happens right there at Park Bend. You can check out everything that Blue Sky Endurance has to offer, but then you can be a part of this fun run. So one more time, Catherine, if somebody wants to be a part of the March 14th event, what should they do?
Yes. Go to runsignup.com and search Catch the Leprechaun, or go to blueskyendurance.com and go to our events tab, and that will also take you to the page to sign up for the race.
And know that if you come out to that run, it's probably a good idea to dress in green because everybody else is, right?
Yes. Or you can wear your race shirt, which is going to be cool. Every year it's a cool green shirt, and a lot of people just wear their race shirts too.
And there will be more than a few costumes, right?
Yes, there's definitely a costume category as well. So prizes for best costume, prizes for biggest team. A lot of people like to dress the same as a team and as a group, and that's really fun to see too.
Swim, run, bike. That's what they're all about at Blue Sky Endurance. Check out either of their Mount Pleasant locations or the Foot Store, but Blue Sky Endurance on Coleman Boulevard and also at Park Bend, kind of across from the Costco. Things must be going pretty well at the new store for you, Catherine.
Yes, they are. It's a fun community up there. We've enjoyed getting to know the community up there, and we're very grateful to be up there.
We're grateful for your time today, Catherine. March 14th, everybody ought to be there to Catch the Leprechaun 5K, the big event happening in Mount Pleasant at Park Bend across from Costco. I'm Brian Cleary. Thanks for joining Catherine Hollister, the owner of Blue Sky Endurance, and me as well today here where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
Thanks for spending your time with the Mount Pleasant Podcast, your community, your podcast. Listen to past and future episodes at mountpleasantpodcast.com.